What is poppin', people? It's been 52 weeks, which means we've definitely been live for a year. It's, as always, Andrew KnTElixar, your master of Yapology, here for the Misplay for Game podcast.
Hi, the internet. It's your friend Tom. We've been going steady for a little while, and I just wanted to say what a great first anniversary we're having. This 1 year on from the 11th of November, 2023. I'm Tom. I said that. I'm still not good at this.
Is it my turn? I can't tell because of the VOD Ninja thing. So, like, my cues, bro. It's me. I'm back from holiday. I'm no longer on holiday. You better watch out. Watch out, Bristol. I'm going to steal someone's invite from Top Cut. Okay, I want to play in Top Cut. You wanted to get your invite to go to those, or should have tried harder, baby.
Yeah, and we do not have a guest for our 52-week recap. We did try and get Terry, so we'd have kind of like the original 4 in. But in true Misplay for Game fashion, it just didn't happen. He's busy.
It'd be like that sometimes.
And, you know, in true Misplay for Game fashion, we had one of the streams unmuted in the background, so enjoy that double voice that was there for, like, at least a little second in the intro. But if you're used to seeing nonsense like this, hi, and thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on Twitch, you can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime.
What is going on?
What is happening?
It must be me. Let me triple check.
But yeah, for YouTube people, I appreciate it. Also, consider becoming a member to get other fun stuff, especially if you're a champione. We will be doing bonus content, and it'll come out a month later for all the free people. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, especially on Spotify. This is going to be a little bit of like, we'll go over ban list stuff because we have not gone live since the ban list happened. You know, if you tuned into episode 51, you would have seen us put a bunch of them on trial, and some people had very good lawyers and got away with it. Some people less so. And you can also turn the overlay blue with Twitch Prime. So I appreciate everyone that does that. Fellas, how's it been? I'm quieter than everyone. I can fix that.
Am I still like a hurricane typhoon blowing up?
Oh my!
You are so much louder.
Hold up.
What did you do?
Nothing. Seriously.
Okay, we're back. I think you're back.
Okay,
I'm back. Yeah. Straight up, no idea. I think the audio quality just blew everybody up when I was not talking. So that's a fun feature. Video, I appreciate you.
Yeah, we're still figuring this out. But you will see some cool stats, like stuff like that, later. But yeah, fellas, you know what, Marcio? How was leaving us to go play the Bushy Road game?
Oh man, Vanguard is a game where the better player always in, and nothing. There's no variance, no nothing for sure. And what can I say? I appreciate Digimon more for some things, and for some things I'm like, damn, I should just be playing Vanguard right now. The thing with like the Vanguard circuit is like there's like 2 circuits per year that you have, like Spring/Summerfest, which is like their fun like teams format, and then you have like the BCS season, which is like your like traditional like 1v1 play for invite to go to Worlds. So I'll probably be attending the BCS. I'll be happening in either London, Manchester, Cardiff, wherever they decide to hold it. But mostly like for fun. That game is very fun casually. And do I miss Digimon? Well, I would say it's about in the same place that I left it at. But I was out there repping Misplay for Game. I got top 4, effectively 3rd. Thanks to my awesome teammates who were really just like my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I was just playing with friends. It wasn't even like I joined a random team, or like it was like a friend David, him and his brother like always played together, and they wanted to play, but they didn't have a third person. Harry was away. So I was like, oh, I'll just like join you guys.
You got like the Smeaton treatment.
Yeah, pretty much. I was just there. The funniest thing is like one of my teammates, he has like popped a couple times before, but his brother doesn't attend as much stuff. So it was like both of our first like tops in Vanguard. But like obviously I've been playing Vanguard for years, and I basically took like a donkey high roll deck. For all intents and purposes, I was playing Red Hybrid. Like I was playing an aggro beatdown deck, just I don't know, man, hit the other guy. But the thing about Vanguard is like specifically like the over trigger, it's like if everybody's deck had like a HPD, and then but the HPD is also like quad ice wall in terms of like ending your turn. So it's just like, you know what? I didn't want to play this game anyway.
It's like also just completely unavoidable, right? Like you can't turn off over triggers.
No, like they're pretty much game deciding like 9 times out of 10 check defensively, and defensively they steal so much tempo that like the person that checks it defensively basically doesn't die and gets another turn, where realistically sometimes a lot of times they would die. And then I played on the day 2 event. I decided to quit while I was ahead. I think I was like X2 or X3 when I dropped, just because like I wanted to take advantage of like there was like a billion people there with like trades and stuff. So I could just like go shop through people's binders that I normally wouldn't have access to, because like Digimon, I would say, is like really well like stocked in terms of like online platforms, and there's a lot less like dudes trying to get their money up. In Vanguard, it's so prone to like either scalping or like buyouts. It like wants to be Yu-Gi-Oh really bad. In Digimon, it's like if a card kind of gets bought out, it's like, I mean, you had like 20 weeks to get it, bro. Like, unless it's like medieval, like in recent like example, I can only really think of like medieval, a card that's like,
yeah, it's a little bit worse. Something like X1 room on spike pretty hard because of gas.
But yeah, it was fun time. But we're so back to Digimon, guys. You know,
when did Vacation Arc Marcio actually start? Like, when do you think you were on vacation? Was it just like you finished your store champs and then you were just like, now I'm on vacation mode?
Because when BT22 came out, I was still like working on fish and stuff.
Sure.
Right. I think it was like literally like when I started attending Vanguard locals for basically like after you guys went to the US.
Dang,
like,
yeah.
Like literally like a week or two later.
All right, so you had like 6 weeks of vacation.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the rough number.
Low-key on Pokemon Summer for a little bit, and then Pokemon Summer ended, and then we.
Dude, I can only play so much Pokemon.
Could not be me, bro. I've been playing so much Pokemon. It's actually crazy. Pokemon's kind of bumping right now.
Yeah, it's a good time on all fronts. It's
go to your pre-releases, y'all.
But it was literally like I was like, well, there's no events to justify me like actively playing Digimon, and the other thing was like we weren't going to get a tournament until I knew like if we were going to get another tournament, it would be around like October, November, like last year. So I was like, I just want to take a break and enjoy other things. So I was like, I'll go do some other stuff. And then once we can smell that like there's a tournament in the air, I'll start locking in again. So I told myself that like last week was like the last week that I was allowed to not go to Digimon locals. Well, actually, to be fair, I have been going to locals like 2 hours before local starts to play with Terry. And then when local starts, I leave because that's when Emily finishes work.
Bro has the Atmon matchup locked down now.
Yeah. I have the Gravity Falls matchup locked down too. Like we finished Gravity Falls. We're caught up on Dan.
That's crazy. Dude, I was watching, so this is the 1 year anniversary, guys. I don't know. It's maybe a big deal. I think it's funny because it's actually been a year since I moved into the house I was only going to be staying in for a little bit. So, you know, the perspective comes for all of us. But I think the funniest thing is you go back and you watch the first episode of Misplay. It's the same thing. We're still talking about like, yeah, I don't know about the format. I might play something else. I'm like trying to pill people on BTC like episode 2.
We do a really bad job of getting people to play Digimon.
Yeah, I actually, hey, you know, you were talking about like expensive staples today. You guys want to know something I learned this afternoon?
What?
Europe had Leviamon basically twice as expensive as North America. So this is not a joke. You could go check the sales on TCG Player. I ordered a bunch of Leviamon alt arts from EX5, and I bought those motherfuckers out pretty much on my own.
Damn.
So I just think it's funny, you know, time comes for us all. We're all jaded old bitter card game heads again.
A year ago or was this like recently?
No, straight up. It was about 3 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Something
were
that the-
$18 for Leviamon alts.
Something the Europeans are
They're
know that we
40.
don't.
They're at least 40 euros.
I mean,
So
it's what happens, right? Like new ban list, checks Leviat.
I literally, I was like, dang, I only have one alt, and this deck's real good. I was like, if you don't play against like Eater Slop, it's like insane. And you know, here we are.
Just got to start running that EX6 Levier, you know?
Well, not anymore for me, dude. I just got a play set of alts. But yeah, it's a funny one. Do we want to talk about our favorite misplay moments over the last year then, gang? Is that the vibe?
Do we want to do like have you guys done a video since the ban list?
No, we did the ban list prediction.
Oh,
and then Superman showed up for a minute, the stream died, and then what did you put to 2? What was the rage bait?
We put
Greymon X to 0.
Nokia? Did we hit Nokia with
you wanted Nokia to 2, you animal.
Yeah.
You idiot. Do you think Bandai hates money? No, they love money. Nokia to 5, bro.
Yeah. He's actually right, guys. You want to know why they hit the Growlmon that has a 1 cent errata text alt and not the Growlmon X with a $40 foil border? I'll tell you what, chat. You can buy EX8 on shelves till this holiday season.
It's like, they were like, ooh, EX1, buddy. See, we're not really making money off that set anymore. You know, get the new deck, get that out of here. You're going to play what we want you to play.
Yeah, okay? Thank God Gas is dead, by the way. The longer I mess around with this format, the more I'm like, oh, dude, no. We could not let that be a deck. That's disgusting.
Gas is for people that have no
You're a little too attached on your Adderall prescription to play Gas, man.
I was gonna say it's like for people that are so detached from Digimon that at this point they just want to do the funny combo. I'm just like, I just don't care. Yeah. It's like I don't care if the deck is good or bad. I just think it's neat.
I was gonna say it's a content creator deck, but the content is I drew 5 cards. I drew 5 cards.
When I watched Henny play that deck the first time, I was like, oh, this is disgusting. They're either killing this whole deck or they're introducing hard ones per turn. And thank God.
I think it was watching the player that played it on 3 hours sleep. Like he got his cards in Japan, hopped on a flight over to the Philippines, and then won a tournament. It was when I think he drew 4, and he drew it the same way a lot of players will do, like top 4 and reveal.
Yeah.
And he just went top 4 and then put them in his hand. And I went, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Disgusting. But yeah, the ban list has been updated. So let's talk about the ban list real quick before we talk about the podcast that we're on.
First of all,
nothing wrong.
Taylor dead.
Yeah, this card it should have been dead a year ago, to be honest. I can't believe they tried pair restricting. Thank God they pair restricted Mother Shoto, I suppose, because it made the internet more. Yeah, it made the internet more normal. But this card should just have gone back in EX5.
There's so much you look at EX5 and somehow they missed out on text on this card. This card could use an extra paragraph of text.
The knock-on effects though were crazy as well, because you see some cards that have so much text on them, and you're like, I know why you're like this.
This card doesn't have enough text on it. That's the issue.
Real ones know from our hit segment, Do You Know Ball? Where the most wordy card in Digimon is the Gate, and then it's like a Snatchmon. And this is better than both of those cards. Yeah, I just can't believe it. It's truly, I will remember it fondly for giving me the funniest Magna X matchup back in BT16.
Just a brief your Joe Schmo who you don't like because the guy doesn't wash his hands.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love being our turn. No, it was I think this card was an abomination. I'm serious. Maybe they could make another one that only plays the names Coronamon and Lunamon or Dianamon and Apollomon or whatever.
That's what the card needs.
I don't even think we should let it play Light Fangs and Night Claws. They can't be trusted. Because they keep printing. The longer that would exist, the more that would limit a whole archetype. Whereas if this thing just exists to make Grace Nova on the other guy's turn, Sure. You know what? Why not?
It could be incredibly degenerate where you get double stun on a Cressamon, where you get like Cressamon stun one and then spit out start of their turn, stun another. Like
Yeah,
it would still be pretty good.
That was how the Bloom Lord matchup worked, was you just free looped Cressamon. Yeah, I just don't got anything nice to say anymore. Thank God is all I gotta say. This is the actual objectively best change on the ban list. I think there is like maybe one other thing that is as good, maybe, but this is like the best.
Say that though, because
best quality of life change to the ban list in a year. Yeah, I'm really happy.
What this also means is the pair ban has been restricted, because why pair ban something with a card that is banned? Speaking of cards that aren't quite banned,
dude.
I mean, it's this one specifically. It's like it's more palatable. Like 1-2 versus 4. It's like, I mean, I still hate it, but it's like I think Graphic Shield's extra bad when it's like in multiples. Like double Hammer Spark, it's like, okay, realistically they only need to gain 2 memory. Double Graph Crush is like they gain 4.
Yeah. And like Jack Raid, Jack Raid.
Oh yeah, same thing with Jack Raid.
Nice thing where they start going, and then you go, right, I'm mentally prepared to get hit by this truck.
Yeah.
Gravity Crush is just like, I'm getting hit by a Sandevistan. Like we are not on the same like time frame.
Well, Grav Crush and Blinding Ray are different too, because there is, now that there's a 1-of, there's a bad place for your 1-of to be, which is like not true for all 1-ofs in Digimon.
Yeah.
So like to this card's credit, like now that it's at 1, if it's your second security, bro, you just didn't play the card. So
there are games where like the card is just not in effect.
Yeah. Whereas like playing against Imperial, they'll still have HPD and Hammer Spark just till the end of time. So it's one of those. I did see a lot of people, spoilers for this, if you got till the 13th of September 2025 and didn't notice this ban list, they also hit Parabolic Junk. And I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, that they left whatever it's called, Tropical Venom. HPD is the memory green card. Like Tropical Venom is some like quirky side course they gave out. They hit green first.
Tropical Venom also relies on the opponent.
Yeah, it's not this like, it's a different kind of card. Like it's not
actual
exactly
counterplay to Tropical Venom.
Yeah, the difference is that it gives you memory and costs 0, and that's where people are like, it's the same thing, but it's not. Chat, take it easy.
It's like
still does have tops.
Yeah, well,
okay,
the Zafagamon is the deck to do it with, I suppose.
Yeah.
Dude, we can't start talking about decks that play good cards until after we've talked about this, because I have so many decks to talk about.
The thing with Zafaga is like Tropical Venom is like, it's funny, but if you are in a position where you're able to cast Tropical Venom, it's like, congratulations, the opponent's already playing into Zeph. That's what you want. Like to me, it feels such like a redundant card, because it's like, the deck's issue is not, oh, I can play Tropical Venom and win. That's not the issue of the deck has. The deck, if the opponent doesn't do anything, it just loses.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Maybe actually consider that it has a top, so L plus ratio plus KBeeDS is washed.
Hey,
KBeeDS
is the agenda. Well, actually, no.
Parabolic, I'm so glad is dead though. This card is like quietly one of the most like game space restricting things I've like. How many good purple and black cards exist, right? Like this is just
not an amount. Like
my particular thought is the first time you guys kept up with like the what do people analog box, the like purple slop good stuff deck. That deck plays the Reapermon that is gonna like become an expensive single at some point.
That's okay. 3 pre-releases of them.
Yeah, that's a good thing to be sitting on. Reapermon in this card is like disgusting. You should like watch like the first time I saw it like pre-ban list, the deck was on like it still had red Fenrir cards to play Jack Raids, to play Grav Crushes, and Reapermon to play this thing, and they would routinely make 9 or 10 memory a turn with just nothing. It was gross. So I'm glad this is gone, because it's just one of those things that like the leading is a fake. People are like, oh, there's counterplay. No, it's not. That's not real. This is all. I think in the power scaling world of this one, is this the only one of those cards that goes to hand, by the way? Like sneakily, the most evil part of this card is that you can't waste it. So I don't know. I won't miss Parabolic.
You're just preying on crashing into security. Like you can drop this on a 1K rookie and
that was cute before they printed Collision. That was real cute before Collision came out, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, in terms of like, it's not.
Also, like I said, dual color stuff too.
Yeah, like it's the one that had like caveats. A lot of those caveats aren't necessarily real. They literally printed REA. So like,
yeah, exactly right.
Like
That's
it's
stupid.
the right time. Like they put attainment that's like, okay, now there's no shit, my stuff lived in security. I guess I got sacked. It's like I will blow this up.
Yeah, this does. Getting this card hit is funny because one of the decks I've been like hoping up for EX10 reveals was Lord Nightmon good stuff, like an actual Nightmon box, and it was because this card was broken. So thank God, because that deck, if that version of that deck was good, it would have just been really boring. So hallelujah, I'll say.
Speaking of really boring.
Oh, thank God. I also, if anyone needs 3 of these, by the way, my like the middle one, I have 3 of them from Nats that year. I'm keeping my one.
I think like Urge is like really interesting because like
great hit.
It's a very good hit, and I think like not to be mean, but like majority of people don't understand like why it's a good hit. They think that like everything else is a problem in the deck but this, but it's like no, statistically, like and like off of experience from myself and my peers, this is the card that like is the most frustrating to play against. Because it's just like, oh, it's like a damage that I didn't account for, and then the deck turns into from a control deck into a beatdown deck. I
think it's definitely the sum of a lot of its parts. Like in a vacuum, Purge isn't as deeply offensive, but now that like Royal Knights have access to these already like belligerent beatdown tools like Gallant X and Omni X, I feel like if those 2 cards weren't part of like the Royal Knights kit, like Purge, like in BT13 for example, Purge was like there, but it wasn't like a damn, I lost the game off hitting a Purge. But now it feels definitely like, because there's more egregious pieces to load off of Purge and free play off of Purge, and a lot of the Purge targets now, rather than their on play being like, oh damn, I lost their on play, it's like I didn't do that on play anyway. Anyways, hold this much damage makes the card feel really, really unfair.
I think with like Purge, there's like a couple of guys that even like back in like BT13, I was like, you know what, I don't really like what you're up to with Purge. I'm not super about it. Obviously, like at best, it was like the Gallant that like had like the one attacking to like burn and stuff. That card wasn't as
back in 13, strong. Or you mean back in when they played the Raid BT12 one?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They played the Raid BT12 one with in BT13 when the deck released, and it wasn't like that egregious. But even then, I was like, I don't like this card, man. This card defeats the purpose of your deck. I get that you need an option to play, but I don't like this.
I think it's funny too, because like one of the things, there were like a couple signs for this card. I think like one of the like weird parts that I never
Leopard.
saw. Leopard is bad. Leopard is like that's one of the ones I always think about. Like, do you remember? I forget when. You remember when like the discussion when I think it was BT20 release, or sorry, combined 2.5 release, when like Royal Knights got this wave. People were like discussing like what the optimal floodgate colors were, and like there were a couple North American, like Huang topped with it. Like Rusty talked about it, like from OC. Like a couple people had been like oh, like you should play greens, you purge a Leopardmon, play the floodgate, and it's like like that's like a weird discussion point of like how like this deck interacts with things, because like intended Royal Knight support includes decoy for red and black. So like why, like the fact that that was a discussion is like a really weird one. The other card that I think is like the writing was on the wall for this card specifically was Cool Boy BT20. The fact that you could like low choke a Royal Knight under Floodgate, but like they'd purge, play and then Cool Boy would give them 2 or 3 or whatever, and then they could all of a sudden start playing again. Like it's a very different kind of like when they diversified how Royal Knights could gain resources, they reduced what you could do with those resources, and so Purge just has to die. I think it's cool though. Like if you've seen like the Royal Knights lists since the ban list, like they're much more varied. Like a lot of like, I will confess to this, I was dooming on the pod about how like Setcon Knights seemed pretty good with like revelation lists and stuff. But there's also like the token lists now, like the really Gankumon heavy ones that play like the Sistermon Blanc, like the decoy one. They play like 4 decoy Sistermons and then a bunch of Gankumon, and Gankumon can keep picking them up from trash. So it's like a bunch of body, like as well as like Leopardmon Ace. It just plays a ton of bodies all the time. And then your Omnimon turn is like, you don't actually need that many knights in the thing. You have a board that spawns seriously 12 things. So you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm dead. And it's like it's a different playstyle that goes back to the original boss monster, but like lets you take advantage of all the tools the deck has had over the years. So it's like kind of refreshing in a way. Like this card that they printed the first time actually meant that nothing else saw play. And now there's like weird ways to play the deck. So I'm into it.
I think with push as well is like loading specifically like things like Alphamon. I find it like really disgusting because like anytime you're loading a card that like theoretically like speeds up the amount of turns like you would need for Omni, it like takes away from the deck's like initial design game plan of like being a control deck with like an inevitability win con, because then the deck just turns into like, well, I'm just gonna beat you down and I'll just get like my turn like 2 turns earlier because like I high rolled into like, you know, my option plus a thing that I can load into my option. That was the thing that I didn't super love about this card.
Loading Omeka as well. So like if you were a deck that in theory could play around the Omeka end up thing, they could just kind of invalidate that and go, whoops.
You could load it. Like I saw people loading medievals to just get 1 extra turn, right? Like it's stupid, but that was good enough.
Draw one.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not my favorite hit on this ban list. I already said Scion Co, but like it's objectively like I think it turns the deck into like it's cool when control decks are deck builders games, right? Like I like when you have to opt into a specific thing. Like KnTeLixar BT22 is like a really interesting card to me. Like being able to like lean into some more yellow stuff in Royal Knights is cool. That card has like a 6 play cost when you're playing the game normally. It's like a fun change to the way this thing sees play, and like it's not just Gallantmon Crimson Mode Ace plus Purge anymore. So big dub, good job, Bandai. Also, Royal Knights being different means more good stuff can exist around it.
Yeah.
Speaking of good stuff not getting to exist, though, oh my god.
Marcio?
Guys, I think he's doing the I show speed gif, but I think
No,
the problem is the quality is
yeah, he is
okay, the quality is kind of crunchy.
I'm doing the dog.
We are cooked.
I'm gonna turn into the Joker if I continue talking about this card. I think it's like it's so infuriating that like I mean, I know that the card is objectively very like overloaded. That's not the issue. The issue is like I feel like the world's like most like psychotic like pet deckers like, no bro, every other deck is abusing my card but me. But like that's actually like what's happening. It's the like I like the card the best in its like pure archetype, which was also the worst way to play the deck recently. And instead of hitting like the things that let the deck like extend beyond belief and leaving the cool like sort of like mid-rangey combo deck alive, it was just like, you know what? We don't like gain to memory from the Guilmons and then going into alpha. We don't like Phoenixmon being an engine. It's either Phoenixmon is the deck or there's no deck. And then they were just like, yeah, I guess we're just going to kill Garuda X. I mean, yeah, like obviously like Garuda X and Phoenix X are like broken cards, but they have to be because like the initial support waves were like not good enough to be like at the competitive forefront. So these cards had to pick up a lot of slack. So this is kind of what happens when like they use super glue to they use like super glue to like fix a deck as opposed to just like designing it from the beginning properly.
I think it's funny that this card never got an errata, because if you've never noticed, guys, there's a typo on it. It says it says BT16, but it should have said EX5, because that's clearly where this card was from.
Oh yeah, I mean
yeah,
the
like
protoform.
it's as broken as the other discussed like Cerberus X tier broken card. Like
it's on the artwork of protoform.
Yeah, exactly, right. No, I you know what? He likes his deck, chat. So we got to let him have it sometimes.
This one is really interesting.
R.I.P. Bozo. I'm glad it's dead.
Poster ban list is really like Tricks, one of the real pioneers of what if we just
abusing this card with another engine? Yeah, weird that it keeps happening, huh?
He's like, you know, he's gone back to the scrapyard and he's like found like a pretty decent condition like V8 engine. He's putting together a new car that kind of runs similar to the old car, but you know, is prepped for the modern age. And seeing this card only show up once after the combo resolves and seeing it stuck on board feels so much better. Like before I'd be like, well, I just accept I'm going to take 4 damage off of this. And then it's like well, no, he only gets 1. And because there's an ace under it, he really only gets 1. So yeah, I mean, great hit. It's also one of those ones that like we all at the start were like, damn, unfortunate that Birds got cooked. And then like
not all of us.
2 reveals later, we go, oh, this card was never making it. This card was never going to see Christmas.
The new bird support is fine. I don't think that it's not it doesn't undo what this does to birds to lose it. But like the problem with this card is that like Growl Engine isn't the first time someone stole it. It's the 4th time someone
I just mean that like with the new birds,
so they couldn't keep it around.
With the new birds, this card hella couldn't stay around.
And I think it could. I think eventually if they continued, like the thing about birds, right, is like there are a lot of bird people that they keep putting into the same deck. Like there's 3 red bird tamers now. Sorry, 4 red bird tamers, yeah. So like the thing is like birds just gets drip fed the way plants does. And like if you had a card that let you loop Agitars and give it the whole bloom board rush, they'd hit that too. So the like situational difference of like the design space restriction is more that like they can't keep getting away with this because this deck will get new toys, whereas like some stuff just gets left. And I think that's like the main trade-off. So
my thing with this card is that like the bird deck like as is like really fair. Like,
yeah, it's super woeful actually.
The thing with that deck is like when you die to it, it's rarely that they high rolled or like rarely that like you got blown out of the water. Like I would say that like maybe with like Graph Crush, when I think like we used to play like Graph Crush, I would say that was like maybe one, but like a lot of the time the deck was like it was like a ramp deck. Like it would scale over time, and like it does get to a point where like yes, it's like out of control, but it like took time to get there, and it wasn't just like it didn't always just have like the same game plan. The deck had like lots of different game plans.
Yeah, the sequencing was like a fun flexibility in terms of like knowing your matchups.
But the deck also had like really horrible matchups. Like the deck loses to anything with like Autumn Deck or a Source Strip. It loses to like Hexa. It loses like a lot of like blue green. Even like the Digivolve is like really bad for the deck. Like the deck had like a ton of weaknesses. The deck only really thrived in metas where purple was
super.
The deletion was good. And like we were in a format again where deletion was allowed to be good.
Yeah, red and purple and black metas. That's when the deck like felt like really, really good. Black decks, assuming that they don't have that much Digivolve.
Yeah, not just immune black deck again, right?
Yeah. But like even tanky decks like Ragnar, like Burst has like
like tanky decks versus like this is just like I'm completely unaffected. Your combo doesn't work. Like that. Sometimes those are like.
But they're weird. You would go wide enough that if they were a defensive deck that unless
what card lets you ignore your color's weakness to immune black blockers and go wide, right? Is it the dude that gave free things rush?
I mean, the main thing
I think
is like
sometimes you're supposed to lose to your colors issues, right? Like the control decks don't like getting Digivolved. The red decks don't like immune blockers because you can't get around big black blocker on a stack deck.
Well, you could.
Weirdly, this one could.
The advantage of
what if you go wide?
Yeah, the advantage of like the bird deck is that like any tank like wall deck usually loses to a go wide deck, right? That's
for sure.
That's what birds did. But anyway, it's sad to see this card go. I mean, I've won a lot of.
This card's cool as hell. Like when you play with it, it's so much fun. It's just like
it's a super rare. The card is a super rare in disguise.
It's I think it's funny because this is that card, like you can go back and watch old Misplay episodes where we're like, finally a red deck for people that think, and it's like, no, it is just an overpowered red card. It wasn't a lot of
in the beginning on release, I would say, and for a long period of time. I think only towards
like on release BT16. Do you remember Red Galaxy winning like 3 or 4 like GAOs in a row? Like
but it was so this card.
Yeah, it was Garuda Ace, this thing, and Tyrannomon. Or
like
what's he called?
European. That's Eastern metas where they play like best of one. I don't think.
Yeah, best of one is. But I'm saying like, this wasn't the first time this card did something on Bandai's radar. That's all I'm trying to say.
That deck is also like that specific version of the deck. I think the bigger problem is also like the Galaxy package, right? Like, sure,
like
this card is very good in that deck.
Yeah.
This card is like super good in that deck. But that deck only gets to exist because of the Galaxy bottom and because of how efficient it is.
Yeah, I agree. There's always going to be
like problematic.
Exactly. This card, weird that you keep getting caught at drug bust, Garudamon, or you may be dealing.
It is a very abusable card.
Yeah.
Speaking of abusable card, this was no one's.
I'm so sad.
They hate you specifically.
They hate me specifically. I'll give them this. It was a very good. This and the Guilmon are a very good hit to TDID Gallantmon. It's not dead, and like this is the card you hit to keep the purple Meggy stuff alive while hurting that. So that was a clever choice. And then by not hitting Growlmon X, you get to keep red Gallant like Pool Boy stuff alive. So like that was a smart choice. And like Alliance 4 damage wasn't very fair. I agree. But also. Yeah, I get it. I the other loss to this is mill packages, and so like I know nobody will weep for the loss of mill decks, but it's not going to happen. I do think sincerely, if people's first thought is that this is the wrong card to get hit, they don't understand why they're hitting this deck. That's my 2 cents.
I think a lot of people's like perceived notion. I definitely agree that like Growl X is very problematic. Obviously, but at this point for this ban list, there were a lot of things that like just hitting Growl X wouldn't solve some of the other decks' issues. And so I think the approach that Bandai decided to take was like, we want Meggy to be sort of like the premier deck for like that version of the deck, and we don't like the decks abusing like some parts of it, right? I think they like on paper the idea of Meggy because it's still like new and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And Meggy has a bit more counterplay, like in particular like aces or other control decks.
Yeah.
But anything that was sort of like effectively a loop relied on these other cards. I think that's the sort of position that Bandai took with this ban list.
They're so like they hate loops so much, and then they list the card that like facilitates the loop. Like yes, the Guilmon hit fantastic. A lot of people were like, oh, maybe it could get away with it if.
Some people on this show said Guilmon was the correct hit all along.
Yeah.
So
Growlex was still the correct hit. And
I just don't think that's true though. Because like know what's funny is that it's not all of top 8 anymore.
Yeah, I've had to play into tricks and But
it's supposed to do that. You get that, right? Like they what they do to a deck is they put it back where they think it's supposed to go, right? So Roll Knights has to go back to playing Omni 13. Yeah. Meggy has to go back to floating into something that doesn't rush you down. Or has to use TDID to make it rush.
Floating into 2 bodies still is a lot.
I think
but it's not too much for the other good stuff.
I'm not trying to
kill you.
I'm not trying to invalidate your experience. I think since the competitive season wasn't really like happening, I think you'll notice an uptick of like things being more like there'll be like more counters to that deck. I think especially like when it's like the numbers are down at locals and you're playing against the same people, obviously like there's going to be outliers because it's just like one guy doing very well on that deck. But when there's I
think the fact that it was more or less untouched in its game plan felt kind of weird. Also, a lot of like the Madrid, like if you weren't finishing on Garuda X, or you can, a lot of the decks that were still abusing this pile are unhit.
Why is that unpogging?
I just can't believe he said unhit in its game plan. It's so wrong.
No,
it's an incredibly wrong take from Misplay, baby. We're back.
Outside of like, yeah, okay, sure. Like the Graph Crush and like some of the crazy expansions for memory.
The Rush Growlmon deck. Do you remember the like funny OCE one that everyone was talking about for like 6 months? Where they played 8 Mem boosts and a Restordramon instead of like a top end. Yeah. That deck doesn't exist anymore because there aren't Grav Crushes.
Like the actual like
the deck that started the Growlmon loop deck, right?
This was like the Rusty's list.
This all permutations of the toolbox built around that are entirely dead. They
Yeah,
are 100% dead. They do not exist anymore.
that I still feel is down to them being incredibly reliant on Grav Crush and like Jack Raid rather than the Growl X.
And Rush Gilmon.
And Rush Gilmon. Rush Gilmon's like the primary
The
one.
problem was a not needing top end because you had infinite Forma de rat aggro. I'm like, it's gone.
I think the decks that will benefit the most from like Rush Gilmon being somewhat like around are basically like the Gallantmon decks that use the Rush Gil for like tempo
or biomerge stuff,
or like biomerge stuff, and then like the dedicated Megi decks. I don't think we'll see a deck abusing the skeleton that is like the Growl Loop as much.
Levia might still squeeze one in every now and then, but like I still don't think Levia Growl. Yeah, I think Levia Growl
is super fake.
Yeah, I think it's just Dark Animal Levia again.
Yeah, Dark Animal has always been better. That like the people that were playing for some reason Levia with Gilmon package, it was just less inefficient. You were seeing less cards.
It also did better in the mirror, right? Because like the memory extension was better on your turn, so you could play through their disruption.
If they flow to get the memory and stuff, then you just steal the memory back. I think it's also that you play like Gazimon. So
that's true.
The Dark Animal package has space for Gazimon, whereas the Growl package does not.
Yeah.
And the Growl package is much more relying on like pulling off a combo that you don't need to win the game versus having access to like some of the best floodgates and climb in Levia, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think the other thing is like by not killing Growl X, you get to keep purple around. Like there's truly there's not a lot of like prevalent purple stuff. Like there are other things, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they committed for once we have also hit Serb X. But like there are Millennium lists that have performed at some point. And like part of that is just draw discard is good enough. You can get some value out of that. Like the inherent value of DT21 Gil and Growl combined with Chimeramon is like a specific thing that like I understand a lot of people have pointed fingers at. But like even that isn't Growl X.
My bet is, I think it's so funny that Jumbo put like always bet on nothing. My
bet on Tom. I'm right every time on this show. It's crazy.
My bet for the reason why they didn't hit Growl X is that they wanted purple to feel somewhat viable in between 22 and EX10 because purple is going to get a big boost in EX10.
Yep.
And I think between EX10 and 23, there's going to be like a fundamental way that like the game changes in some way. And they're basically they were like, okay, we're not going to hit this because like by the time this new stuff comes out, it will not be as like relevant. That's my guess.
Yeah, I do also think, like I said, like I
could be wrong though.
The choice to hit this Grav Crush, I think we all agree. The three of us all agree was dead no matter what deck it was affecting because they were they were basically doing some under the hood maintenance at that point,
even decks that we obviously overvalue them because we know pilots and stuff. Even a deck that's, I would say, not linear, but a deck that is sort of like on the cusp of meta relevancy that is like Red Hybrid still very much relied on Grav Crush. And that's not even like a front runner of the format deck.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Right?
I think the choices to hit the other two cards reflect what kind of things they want the corresponding synergistic packages to be allowed to do going forward. That's, obviously I ribbed on Andrew there because, he's like,
I'm sure Bagger will have like whatever Bagger's up to.
If you guys are sick of purple, wait till Beelzemon comes out. What the hell?
That's the other thing. I'm not, know what?
Mill. Yeah, it's not the fun mill.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about Beelzemon because I'm trying to buy cards on the low. So
that's why I do. That's why I'm buying Leviamon.
At least the Beelzemon's a secret res.
I'm chilling. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I have cards to buy.
yeah. I'll miss this. It was my second favorite Growlmon ever, and I'll miss it. This card is from hell. We've talked about.
We've talked about the game on of. Yeah, we can.
I also am just kind of sick of it, to be honest. It was one of those like when this card came out. Yeah, it was funny, and then the minute the deck went back to hitting you in purple instead of doing resource loops, it was even worse. So see you later, bozo.
Yeah, and the thing is, the decks that like Purple Hybrid and stuff that use this is just like we'll draw into it. Like
when Merva crossed this thing, I just wanted to die.
They'll find it's not a big of a deal for it to be at 1 for the deck that just text it in. It's to stop the over centralization of purple into it. It's like when they hit Guru X and Gabu X. Like we're tired of seeing the same 20 card pack.
you'll notice that they always kind of hit like either like loop adjacent or low to the ground like purple beatdown decks, and they'll always leave the more like game plan oriented purple decks alive. Only when only Anubis is obviously a special case, but for the most part, historically they've always hit low purple low end, because purple low end is always the best part about the color.
Marcio has been talking about this on this show for almost 2 years now. Like when people were mad that Impmon got hit and not Slinger, he said the same thing. It was like the accelerant breaks purple, guys. What a surprise. I don't know. Let's just get over it, I guess. I'll miss them, bye.
No, Garuru.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we just need a Sunomon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this card is just like, it's maybe the most on the whole ban list. Just like
awesome card ever.
Well, no, sure, but I'm saying like it's just like Digimon is nearly 6 years old, right? So they're just like, dang, we forgot we made this. Is like some guy had it in a binder and they did not have it at HQ. So when they made Sagittarius mode, they were like, wait, we did what? Uh-oh.
Just like,
dang it, I knew I forgot something.
You know, like the meme of like Yachty and Drake. Yachty and Drake at the Apple store. It's like them realizing that they forgot that they made this.
Yeah, it's literally.
And then like they were like, oh yeah, Sagittarius. Surely all the Metal Garus are normal, right?
You know what's really funny about this too is like I did see like that, like for every complaint about like Gas is dead, and it was like the cheering with the chains breaking and stuff.
I wasn't even play against it. That's the worst thing.
No, I played so much Gas prep for freaking Gen Con, dude. I hate that deck. Yeah, even for all the people who are talking about Gas being dead, I saw like a bunch of comments be like, "This was my favorite Garurumon because I don't like playing against purple."
This guy was the GOAT back in when like Garuru was a rogue deck.
Yeah.
In like just before 15, in like BT 14 and like BT 13, there was the sort of like rogue Garuru pile where it was like the deck still had a good enough like game plan, and you could just like play this guy as like a tech option. It was so sick. And then they made the BT 15 cards and the EX5 cards, and
these are still my favorite alts in Digimon though.
They're
Like
so peak.
They're so peak. I still get like geeked about the Geen Virus Imperial from like BT3. Like every time they do a Hyper Coliseum card, I'm like, yeah. Lol.
Goodbye, Garuru.
Goodbye, Melga, you dork. Well, oh, dude, have we even like? I don't think any of us.
This was not on my radar.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have been on the internet since what they did to Sakuyamon. It's like,
oh, I don't need to. I work with Terry.
The boardroom is like This is like remember when they hit Nume X, and I was like, I want to know like who at Bandai was like, I've had enough. It's the exact same thing for Sakuyamon. Because like the way that they hit
somebody
this
kept
deck,
drawing two and drawing into the broken shit.
Whereas like this is like it's another one of those cards that just doesn't have enough words on it. Dude, she should only play plugins. It's crazy. And I don't understand why they just for like half a year Sakuyamon stopped caring about plugins. Like what happened?
I think it was that it's so weird as well because they've got all the little DNA where it's like has to be single color. Please do not resolve Sunrise.
Yeah,
They really wanted you to play like Sunrise Bust. No, not Sunrise. I literally got Noble Family. They were like, please play Noble Family. Please think about how much DP you can shrink, please. And then people were just like, scramble.
I think it was to give more flexibility because they recognized a lot of the plugins weren't all that good.
They should have just made better plugins.
They should have kept printing plugins.
Do you remember when we were getting like Recharge and all the like ones like that little period
Pause
when we
was
just got a
so
bunch
good.
Pause is still fantastic.
Yeah.
Please do not print another port.
They should make play plugin, you know, like
rewind plugin. Your opponent shuffles the game and you play. What's that magic card where you like start another mini game of Magic?
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
tell this.
some guy in the YouTube comments will know what I'm talking about. They'll be 42.
This card is like. This card, in my opinion, is so funny because it does 3 separate things, and each of those things are good enough to like. If the card did 2 of the 3, okay. Do you know like the green triangle that is like
suspend
costs 3? This is that. This is like if it had any two of those three things, the card would be fine. But it's because it does all three. The card's just insane.
Yeah.
If it was like draw 2, make a token, that'll be fine. Draw 2, play a card. That'll be fine. Play a card, make a token. That would be fine. All three, hell nah. Oh hell nah.
I will miss this card not because it's like a Sakuya hit and I was secretly a Sakuya cover. I did not love playing against Sakuya in its like OTK variant.
No, so OTK Sakuya is very boring.
Yeah, I was not a fan. But I'll give it this. This card being able to play Mega Digimon Assembly let me make some stupid boards. I was making BT16K. If you ever played against a dude just playing D Brigade with like random Sakuya slop in it, it was me. It was a pet deck I tried for about 8 months to just make as fast as possible Black Yellow Chaosmon. It never once worked. But it was just like this card was so badly thought out that they threw it at the wall and they were like, maybe it'll stick, and it broke a hole in the wall.
Yeah, this is so funny because they were like, oh man, our cool control deck. What if we sped up the killing process? You know, what if its weakness of not dealing enough damage? We just forgot about that.
Yeah,
it genuinely feels like a card that they resolved. Like when they were designing the starter deck, it was like 3 interns in a room that hadn't been like they hadn't actually seen the state of the Digimon card game. They missed EX5, they were away for Christmas or something, and they just were like, yeah, I think that this, you know, we won't make any mistakes with this. We're just not going to look at the rest of the card pool. I'm sure this card will be fine.
The thing that's funny is that if you read the rationale for both this and Digivolution plugin, the problem with these cards to Bandai is not the stupid untethered thing that they do, which is like freely toolboxing to whatever good stuff you can steal. The problem is that they don't like that both cards say draw. The problem to Bandai is that these cards have card draw, not search, not quirkiness, not free things, no tempo issues. They're just like, it's yucky that you draw cards.
It is really interesting. They hate consistency stuff like that. That's why they hit the Stingmon that they hit as well. It's like the untethered draw. It's like, I mean, I guess if you cast Digivolution plugin off of this Sakuya, it draw 3
and then evolve. So you filter
you filter
1.
there. The I've forgotten the name of the egg, is going to draw you 1 as well.
Oh yeah,
Yoko
the Vixie.
or Vixie.
Yeah, so it's just like you draw 5.
Well, that's the thing with Sakuya, is that the deck is always prone to deck out because its initial consistency is like so fraudulent that you are always like struggling to find pieces for a little bit, but the moment that like you string together a combo, you draw your entire deck.
Yeah,
it's really difficult to balance because the deck will always be like they see the high roll or they break. There's no like the deck has no ability to like always be consistent every single turn or like every single game. The deck is always I break or I saw my pieces at high roll.
They've like attempted it over the years to build like an actual way to tie like thematics together, because like generally speaking, the thing is like the plugins aren't actually stuck enough to the archetype. Like if the plugins all like rule box were treated as Rika when you search them, like from the like what's the Omekamon? Like there's like an Omekamon that counts as Greymon and Garurumon when it's revealed on the top.
Yeah,
like they had to do stuff like that to make them easy to use.
Like a Rika, that's a plugin, right? Like,
yeah, exactly, right. Like
new card type. Do a tamer option. Dual type card.
I like that.
They could just fix it by just tagging them. Like we've seen they eventually tag tamers. Like if they just retroactively errated all of the plugins to be like, okay, let's maybe we don't, but like
I was gonna say
on. I'm cooking a Rika that when your Sakuya does action, let's say swing, you tap the Rika, but instead of playing the plugin from your hand, it plays it from the trash.
That could be cool because it would mean the KBeeDS that lets you de-draw would be set up.
It's been a fun year, guys, but I don't think we should be allowed to do this podcast, the 3 of us, anymore.
I'm saying if this Rika magically exists in the starter deck, it is not my fault.
Dude, that'll be on a maid mode. It'll be a yellow-purple maid mode.
They will genuinely just start making you play it will be like play a plugin from your drop.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's hoping, right? Here's that they give it something.
They were just like, one green plugin. Well, the deck needs to do it a couple times. Play from the drop.
Yeah, we'll see.
I can't wait for them to retrain this plugin, and they'll just put like a draw 1 or draw 2, but it doesn't evo. It's like the if you want to draw by effect, here's your filter plugin or something.
Yeah,
like
it'll be
that.
like a plugin that's just draw 2, and then that's it. That's all the card does.
Yeah, like debug or refresh plugin or something like that.
One cost will make it like, what's a bad color? We'll make it purple, right? A purple plugin that's just like one cost, draw 2. And then we'll break every purple deck as well. Because we'll forget to put like restrictions on it. Sorry, my bad.
I know you've been on vacation, Marcio, but there was like, I don't know, you've probably not kept up with the store promos because like we've had a year and a half of Bandai releasing custom cards to go to locals.
Oh, I do know about the new store promos.
You know the Chimeramon card is like 3 memory, draw 2, trash 2. I've seen like multiple threads of people like, is this just the best consistency engine in purple now?
It's
and I'm like,
and then they
can't give that color anything. They are heroin addicts.
In the same promo pack, they managed to design Axel Arm.
Oh yeah.
They have the capacity to make good cards, but they refuse. They're just like, Justimon, we're not in enough episodes of the show, buddy. Jobber deck forever.
Yeah, it's so funny.
That deck sucks. And then I have people telling me it's like, oh, you know, it's actually pretty good. No, it's not. It sucks. It's unplayable.
Marcio, have you not thought about using Rio to play the Medusamon Cyberdramon? I saw a comment on Reddit saying that was pretty good. I
think they're afraid to make Justimon good. Even though the devices are objectively just not the plugins, I think they're afraid. They've been like, ooh, we gave too much to Sakuyamon. We cannot give that shit to Rio.
Justimon's unplayable. Your bottom end sucks. Your top end sucks. Your devices are okay. Your tamer sucks.
But the devices are great if you don't play Justimon.
Yeah, the devices are incredible.
Yeah, like, Queen device kicks ass in my Roll Knights list.
So cool. In the deck that you're meant to, that card sucks. Black doesn't have enough memory. It doesn't have enough card draw. What's my win condition? I don't even get an OTK.
Your win condition
I don't even get to OTK.
Your win condition is playing 4 Kokuamon and getting nothing but Omnimon matchups all day.
Yeah, and then they'll just hit me with the alpha at -15 me, and then I cry. Because not only do I have an in-archetype level 5 ace, but my 6 is also an ace.
Yep. Hey, you and Beelzemon now, because 6 and 7 ace.
They hate me. It's just like sometimes they'll make like awesome black decks. Like not Galactus, whatever.
He almost said it, guys.
No. Galactus is an abomination. Sometimes
Marcio can find it, guys. He can do it. He's in here somewhere.
So sometimes they'll cook.
Gora?
They'll be like,
is it?
Huh? No, Abado. Abado is cool.
Alrighty.
I
like Abado. I play a little.
Abado is a cool, interesting black control deck, and they cooked.
Yeah.
Giving Black a Memset or Mimi as a deck identity did make it fun. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Every deck should have one. But then for every Abado, they're just like fucking Justimon slop. It's like, we're not even trying, guys. Come on.
It could be worse. You could be a Mamemon guy.
No, I don't know.
That's literally the least loved Digimon in the world.
He got support in EX9.
For DM!
Yeah, but he's there.
Oh, you're right. Duh.
And also, there is this like really silly Mamemon list that's floating around, though. You just kind of turbo Sembo Ducken and you just flood 4 bodies turn 2 and you go,
yeah.
Any response?
Pyramidi is also another interesting.
You know what, Chatter? You're right, dude. Pyramidi is my favorite black deck.
I didn't mention Pyramidi because Pyramidi is an OTK deck, and
Pyramidi is a red deck that they ran out of printer color.
No, there's nothing. They would never give red a card as funny as Zofrecabrus.
Zofrecabru is broken, and the Magnetic Dramon, that card is insane. The thing with Pyramidi is people misinterpret what an OTK deck is, and they think that the deck has to be fast. No, that deck is going to find an opening, taunt you, turn skip you, and then you die.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I think the other part is like we complained about like Sakuyamon being out of color identity, and like lol, that makes Justimon bad too because they won't give it its identity either. Like none of this matters, right? Because like even though Sakuyamon is banned, hurt by the ban list, it is getting a product come holiday season that will I'm 100,000% sure that it will be about Sakuyamon and Rika. It will feature maybe the best plugin you've ever read. and will completely change how we build the deck. And some people will be like, kill your darlings about Sakuya X. Like, that's how sure I am that they will put Sakuya back on top.
You think we'll stop playing Sakuya X?
No, I think Sakuya X versions of the deck will be like for nostalgic players, and real Sakuya heads will be like, I love Bio. The Bio Merge will be like, for the next 3 turns, your opponent's board is sec minus. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they're going to advanced decks. Sakuyamon should fill you with fear you've not felt in years.
But I will say though,
they still have Sakuya X or like made like it'll be one of the two.
Dude, advanced deck Terriermon almost made Rapidmon a good deck. Imagine what a good deck will do with an advanced deck.
That advanced deck, they undercooked. Should have stayed in the oven for a bit longer.
The Bagnamon was the best card in the deck.
I think the choice restriction with the Sakuya X and the Valder and the Tau is so funny because they were just like, you know how we said that the problem is that Sakuya gets to go into level 7s? We'll take away one of the level 7s I can go into, not because it's bad game design, but because it's a super rare. But the secret rare level 7 that you can go into, you can do that one just fine.
They would have been ruin mode. Yeah,
ruin mode, you can -10 the opponent for 3 turns in a row. It's fine, don't worry.
Hey, Demon Lords does
Valder Arm costs you like £2, bro. Not allowed, okay? Just because you end the game fast versus ending the game in like 3 turns where the opponent does not get to play. Difference is, those alt arts that you bought because you were a smart person for like a $5, they're gonna go back into the binder, buddy.
I'll give you this as well. Obviously, we're never gonna do the Liberator lowdown. Marcio just won't read the comic. It's fine, guys. We're a year into Misplay the game. We know what's going on.
Season 1. That's what we do like a recap.
Marcio, Violet uses a ruin mode.
Oh, I do know that. I do know that.
Big bozo.
I do know that. She pulled it in a pack, and then she was like, Orisa makes a bunch of guys. This will stop Orisa from making a bunch of guys.
Literally, exactly that. I'm like,
it's so funny because like I was like, surely they're not gonna have her pull her emblem during a friendly as like a side thing, and then it was ruin mode jump scare, and I went, what the
But no, but like
he's gonna quit, bro.
They like the ruin mode does that, guys. Bandai thinks ruin mode is the funniest prank they've ever played on us.
They're just like, oh yeah, we love -5. Nice, go wide deck. Secret rare, go get boxes of EX4.
Dude, it's so funny. Just like that when you
buy the Reaper booster.
When they first introduced you, I'm like, oh, she's a rich girl. She plays all the tier 1 decks. No, she went to locals. She got her god pack on the first local. Was like, I guess I'm cook for the rest of the time.
There's for real Manchester Digimon heads, we know the lore heads among us will know that'll happen at your locals, guys. Sometimes a dude that just loves playing the one black blocker deck he has built will pull a Death X, and it will extend the amount of time he goes to locals by 8 months.
Auto include in every deck.
Yeah. Banger. That's the ban list. Do you guys have any other stuff?
Is this it? Is that it?
Oh, that's everything that they added this time. They
didn't
yes, unban anything.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people being like, this is the unbanned season, guys.
No.
We're going to get... So the one that made me laugh the most is like, oh, now that the Sakuyamon stuff is dead, are we getting Kuzaha back? And I was like, no. What are you talking about?
If they give...
Kuzaha now lets you go when digivolving, make, what's it called? Aegistramon.
Aegistramon, yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. And then like the Numemon and Greymon Copers made me laugh too. I appreciate you guys.
We needed the speed.
Yeah, you guys keep the internet fun to be.
The thing is, like, people are so caught up on this idea that like Greymon is too slow. It's not too slow.
That's not too slow. You just have to stop playing that deck.
You need to stop thinking about that deck in the way that you've been thinking about it your entire life. That deck now basically looks at the opponent and goes, you played a rookie, you're going to concede your nursery because I have so many ways to taunt you and skip a level that I will just gain 3 memory because I blast Evo. Yep. And then, you didn't promote? Well, sucks to be you. I now have a level 6 for free. The deck is literally, I promote a 3. I have a new broken rookie that adds back anything that I'm missing. Yep. So if they fixed the draw power issue. They were like, we don't draw enough cards. What if Sort of Main Phase add back?
Yeah. The other part that's crazy is that it's the only like consistent taunt deck. It has 3 levels of blast threats in archetype.
And then they were like, oh man, the thing that sucks about this War Greymon deck is when you have to evolve into level 6 and you pass turn. Evolve to level 5 and pass turn, and then you don't pay for your 6.
Yep.
How is that for speed War Greymon players? And every single one of them, they're like, oh no, no, I need to OTK instead of turn skipping my opponent and controlling the game. With my unaffected by options, unaffected by Digimon guy.
Can I get a truth nuke for the fact that the deck that actually needs Greymon X back is Shine?
Yeah, it's literally like a bunch of like Shine propaganda. Like,
yeah, they want it back because they can't. They're so sick of Geo Greymon.
I was going to make a joke about like Shine Point USA, but that's a little.
They got Greymon X in the neck, dude. Hey, speaking of Greymon X, do we want to talk about EX10 or do we want to talk about the pod? Because it's been an hour.
About the pod and we can do EX10 because it's an hour in. When we first pitched this podcast, we were like,
they were an hour long.
They were like, it's gonna be an hour long. We're gonna be fun. So we're gonna do very little trip. I put this together 30 minutes before the podcast, even though I'd known about the thing that I was gonna do for 3 weeks, which I think you'll find is a theme.
It's actually exceptionally clear that that's how the show's supposed to work.
Yeah, like it's like we have an amount of preparation.
Dude, HR we might get a pay rise here. This is an annual review.
All right.
Gotta lock in, man. Hey, should I go put a tie on, Andrew?
No, it's okay. So this is our quad quarterly review. Because as you know,
they made a word for that, but
stocks are up.
If only there was a word for it that was concise and simple. So yeah, B and Tom one day were like, "Oh, we should get Terry and we should put a podcast together. We'll be lucky if it makes it to 5 episodes." And you may notice we said Terry. Marcio, if you look at the credits of episode 1, is listed as a guest, and here he is in a solid 80% of the episodes. 85?
I think Marcio's in more of this show than me.
No, you're more.
You've missed, I think, 2 episodes tops.
Really?
Sometimes I just
have
make
to
it.
be here.
I missed Paris because I was playing Virus Imperial and losing. And I missed probably some Gen Con stuff.
Yeah, I think you've missed. You could count the number of episodes you missed on one hand. Again, if I was more prepared, I would actually have the attendance stats. And Marcio would be in trouble. But for season 1, we have some very fun stats. This was supposed to fade in second, but we've had 5 game shows on this show. It was one of our biggest selling points to start. We've had 52 episodes, of which 5 were pre-recorded, 47 streams, 5 niche internet micro celebrity guests.
I think I've missed like all of them, but Kage or Brookie Rush GG.
No, you were on with OP Adam, Mr. Red Scar.
Oh, I was not actually counting him.
Oh, there's also Huang.
How could you? I was playing Eden this week.
The people that counted towards those 5 were Huang, our first guest. We managed to get in under 5 episodes.
Yeah, because he's a YouTube guy. Yeah, true.
DigiDread.
Oh,
I missed that one.
I love him. Yeah, you did. That episode ruled, Marcio.
That episode was great.
Yeah, because I wasn't in it.
We got Niti Kage. We got. Oh, I did have these up. I actually. We had because I mean he casted Nats. So that's close enough.
He is my favorite kid.
I did not.
The favorite thing about the Midi Kage video is like he was like, I miss when people used to cheat.
Yeah, like, that's still
that clip does bits. I love that clip.
That clip's awesome.
And then
we have 5.
We had a 5th one.
We had East. I met that man in a hotel at a net cafe.
Yeah, so we had Huang, East,
Marcio, I made the podcast from Tokyo. What are you doing on a Saturday?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Sometimes I'm just...
Okay, that was not the right one that was supposed to show up. Yeah, we spent over 100,000.
Wait, sorry, can we go back? What 5 game shows do we have? Because I'm now worried that I've forgotten one.
Lethal Living.
Yeah, the
good
Zenimon Zoom
In.
Yeah.
Ball, and Patch Note Party. I forgot about Patch Note Party until you said something before we started recording. And that's what I went back into the slides to fix it because I had 4 down.
Cool.
If we get Hoang again, we need to get him to do Patch Note Party. I know that man's evil.
Yep.
Hey, for season 2, I'll save the next patch note party for the Huang episode.
We've attended from 3 different countries. We've had the US, we've had Japan, we've had the UK, several different parts in the UK.
Yeah.
And it's watched in 30 countries, according to our analytics, which is pretty cool.
Shout
Shout out to
out.
the less than 1% that watched from Romania.
Yo, my God.
You guys got no
We've
locals.
only had like 25 crash outs, which like
That's almost half. That's almost half.
How many of them are just me?
it's like a rough ballpark. Like, you know, some may say it might be higher, it might be slightly. It's definitely
How
higher.
many of those are just me? Like just like losing my mind.
It's usually you and Tom. But we've had a few. We've had some guest crash outs as well. Some of them may be related to our game shows.
Orange.
We've had 8 times that I said I would make front end back end changes, then didn't do it. That number.
That's actually, I would have guessed that number.
And we've streamed in 5 different time slots. Your Saturday evening podcast has streamed Saturday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday,
Monday.
Monday.
We were on Monday. Why were we on Monday?
Monday. I loved Monday. Monday was awesome.
Yeah, we've your Saturday evening podcast has streamed in 5 different time slots and 3 different streaming environments.
Chat.
And we've only climbed out of a window 1 time.
We should get your cats to do an episode. That was a good clip.
Yeah. So
Do you remember the chat was bumping when you were doing parkour, by the way?
yeah, and I did not fall. But yeah, those are some of the interesting stats for stats nerds, and that's as far as I got. So yeah. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thanks for supporting Misplay for Game for 52 weeks, which some might say is a year.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked, Andrew. I'm
You still
blown
have
away.
channel points. We just haven't scammed you yet.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a game show. We usually save them for when
We
we
do
have
get
4 people.
404 or whatever.
We will get more guests.
I have been working on the down low. This is, well, I guess if we're doing season 2 of Misplay, there are still a couple things we've talked about doing. I still intend, chat, to make good on my promise I put in the Discord that we will do a Misplay episode from a studio at some point this year. It'll be like the Misplay live bonanza where we have props and bits and
Might be
stuff.
next
It's
year.
good. Yeah, well, it's a busy. I got Thanksgiving and stuff to plan. And also, I'm moving. What the? Doesn't matter. Not on the show. Anyway, the other one is I've been working on a game show for the 3 of us so that we can have for the people who have channel points burning a hole in their pocket. A
I
new
have to
segment.
gamble.
Yeah, if you can't get enough of gambling and your name's not Betfred, I have the place for you. So keep an eye on probably episode 54, 55.
Also, Lethal or Living is coming back.
Yeah.
I have been getting more clips, which is great. Yeah, so we're going to subject more and more people to Lethal or Living. We are not doing it at the case tournament because, again, that technology is just not in place. But the case tournament is another thing. I didn't put the stat on that. The goal, I actually was going to have a money lost stat, and I just didn't have time. But money lost was going to be on there, and it was going to see at least this many digits. So yeah. Hopefully this year, season 2, money lost is going to be lower.
Dude, I think it's sick that every now and then I would see a comment I don't want to pretend we're bigger than we are in terms of the consumed viewer base of Misplay for Game. I think the fun thing about this show is that the people that tune in, week out, and are in the Discord are sickos in the community. You guys need another hobby if you watched more than 10 episodes of Misplay. You need to go do something else. Learn about a sport.
Nah, we're one of the top percentage video podcasts on Spotify. So yeah, thanks for helping us do that. We get to do cool things. Me and Mastio have got to cast regional.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will be casting that. Hopefully.
Touch wood.
Nah, I don't know yet, but hopefully. Speaking of Nats,
I'm an attendee. I don't even know if I'm planning on doing well. Right now, I just know that I'm an attendee. I'm just I'll show up, provide.
doing well.
We're a year into this podcast. Episode 3, Tom would have said, Marcio, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm a grown man now. I think differently. Marcio, you should plan on doing badly. You'll be cool about that.
Oh, we'll see. If realistically, there's nothing stopping me from just playing Galacti for the rest of the year. They hate all the decks that check me.
Except Maggie. Well, Maggie. Okay, Maggie got
Maggie got hurt in a way that now it leads us to Galacti.
It's like a lot more doable.
Yeah.
Like if I have the pop play cost for Snatch, it's like there's not a billion Gilmons with Rush coming out anymore. I only have to take care of the one.
Yeah.
It's like way more doable. So I'm just like, why change deck and grief myself when I can just play the most like linear broken deck that I've ever had the displeasure of playing.
You know what else is fun about the show before we move on? Andrew, those slides were great. You've done a great job. You've talked about this, Marcy and I have talked about this. I think it's really funny that Misplay has like I said, like disproportionately, like maybe the show has like a certain influence sphere. Like the people that I have met through Misplay or like interacted with at events in a real human being with my physical body and person sense are like diehard Digimon or hobbyist or card game people, because that's what like the show seems to attract. And like it's like kind of like I was talking to some family about like getting to go places, and they were like, and people like shout outs to the Dayton, Ohio Digimon scene that came up and talked to me in DHM and Gen Con. Weird that people recognized me in my hometown. It was a moment.
All the way from Ohio.
Yeah, all the way from Ohio. Normally, dude, I don't fuck with Ohio, but it was a weird day. I'm like, me and Marcio got included in on some custom Digimon game markers and stuff. Shout outs getting like, people who want to submit for Misplay stuff and promote things on the show. Like it's been had ads,
Speaking of promoting, I want to see all of you what's
October 11th, buddy.
October 11th at the Misplay birthday bash.
That's why you're our favorite guest on the show, Marcy.
Yeah. We're not doing it's not the birthday bash anymore. We're not doing it in September.
Permanent guest, am I right or what?
Yeah.
Squatter is rights on that guest slot.
Yeah. But no, it's been a hoot, Yang. Thanks for watching a year of Misplay for Game. Here's to the next one.
That should be fun. But you know what? Vamp, I want to show people the trophy is now in my possession.
Oh, no way. Cool. So, gang, like Marcia mentioned a second ago, one of the fun things about the Misplay for Game tournament coming out this October 11th, by the way, is that we've taken a lot of the lessons we learned from the first one, and we're going to do it better this time. For instance, we're not doing it the same day as, what convention were you at? Comic-Con?
MegaCon, yeah.
MegaCon. We're not doing it the same day as MegaCon so that we can get the professional cast here to come and join the show the whole time.
The food situation, we need to.
Oh wait, things have changed a tiny bit.
Just a tiny
bit, just a little bit. So our shout outs to our local store, Manchester's own Fanboy 3. They had a cafe. The cafe operations are ending seemingly. You can read more about it on their socials. It's like Fanboy 3 Manchester. If you search those two things, you'll find it. So updates will follow if we come up with a plan. Check the Discord, Misplay for Game Discord.
You're in you're in literally like Piccadilly, Manchester. You walk for 2 minutes and there's a Popeyes.
So despite the loss of the cafe, there will still be food at the Misplay for Game tournament. Everything will be fine.
All right. I am now being griefed by cats because I opened my door. I did lock them out, and now if scenes change, he stepped on something.
Smart.
So
this is an actual trophy.
Yeah. Update from last year. Please kill my stream. Would be funny, but like don't, preferably. This is what people will be playing for. First place gets focus this. A Lucimon trophy. It's double-sided. Lucimon back shots and all. And
Lucimon back shots and all.
And also has his demon crest. So this is going to be the standee trophy for first place. In addition to all of the cool stuff like the mats that are being provided by Hopper Hair and some sleeves. If you haven't seen them yet, keep an eye on the art channel in our Discord. But there'll be an official post for those soon as well. When those arrive, those have been ordered. We're nearly at 40 people, which means I may need to emerge.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, let me pull up the attendance number.
Where was the link for that?
It's in the announcements on our server. I can put it in the chat in just a sec, gang, but I'm going to pull up the numbers really fast.
It's going to sell out, chat. You want to play some
there
EX10?
are less. Sorry, there are 14 tickets left in stock. So if you and a couple friends want to go, you don't have a ton of options left. You want to make sure your whole locals can wrap something up. You want to try and up stages in the house at Manchester and beat some of the UK's finest. My main man, Mr. Johnny Lowe, might even take a break from Silk Song again.
Oh, he's already bought his ticket.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to bring suspense here. This is a show.
No, he's a selling point. People love Johnny.
Yeah, that's true. People love Johnny, and he's a guru Mondia boy.
You two can sit across from a guy whose objective is to spawn 1,300 bodies and maybe win the game in the process accidentally.
Johnny beat me at locals on Wednesday. He had 28 Digimon.
Classic Johnny.
Yeah, come on down. We got 14 tickets left on the current batch, so we'd like to make sure we can get you in. Members, if you haven't noticed yet, because we didn't include it yet in the advertisement this time, you get a discount with your membership. So get involved, read the announcements page. Yeah, so we want to hear about it.
Andrew needs to upload like a 2-minute video, just like tickets are literally selling out. There's one ticket left, and then a bunch of people are just gonna be like, "Oh my god, one ticket left! Oh, I have to." And then we extend the cap because you guys are just so excited to play.
Yeah, we're doing the Coney strat where he's like, "I'm only one sub away from hitting my sub goal, and I'm only one sub away from hitting my sub goal."
One ticket until it sells out.
Yeah, we're actually really, really close. Like, I ordered enough participant sleeves for a 40 cap and realized that we were really close to that 40 cap. And some of these people are fanboy people that still need to buy there. So this is people from locals who will be. So realistically, there's only like 7 tickets left if you account for the people from my local who are lazy.
And I'm being forbidden from entering my own tournament. So I think it's a pretty good deal for you guys. Look, the map that Emily has been drawing.
Yeah, there's some bangers, guys. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I've seen some sketches and stuff this week to confirm for final designs. And guys, this is my favorite Misplay event so far. So come along. And I'm not just saying that because we have money to lose on the line. Come along. We'd love to have you.
I just want to see some EX10, some villains, some demons, some more villains.
I would love, we don't do this for the regular episodes. We usually just do this for the tier list, but I would love to see on the internet what people think we've picked for our favorite villains of the set. So get in the comments.
Like most people get this is really like a three-line bingo, and I'm a free space.
Are you sure? I feel like a lot of people would think there's a couple choices.
For the EX10 villain set, you think there's any wiggle room in what mine is going to be?
I think there will be a double-digit amount of the votes that get it wrong, but it won't be that high. It might just be 10%.
I don't think anybody will guess what my villain pick is, which is really funny.
Your one is one that made me stop for a second, and I went, yes, sir.
I think Tom's is the one that gives it away the most. But like, this is like for the people that have listened to 52 episodes of like Misplay. If you somehow don't know who's Tom's like villain, it's like, are you even like listening with the pod unmuted or what? Or you just
farming watch time? Because we appreciate you anyway.
Yeah, hey, thanks for watching, man.
Do you just want your house to feel less empty, so you put the pod on in the background, or what?
I think there were 2 choices for me, but I'm glad. I think people have forgotten the other big one by the end.
Yeah, I suppose.
But it worked out fine.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I want to see for our comment boosting engagement farming tactic for episode 52. Tell us how many podcast episodes you've watched from now that we've hit the 52, what podcast number you started on, and what you think are the 3 Digimon that support us, that represent us for the villain match. Because I think that would be really, really interesting to see if anyone gets it fully right.
Yeah, if you knock it out, you've been here since episode 1 and we don't know you in real life, that would be tight.
Also, if you're from the UK, if you're not from the UK and you still want to support the tournament, we do have a way for you to do that through the Shopify link as well. There's a thing for supporting the tournament that donates, and also if you do a certain tier, you'll get some of the participation sleeves, because whilst you're not there in person, we still want to, appreciate that you've helped us not lose a lot of money this year.
You guys really came through for us.
So if you want some exclusive Misplay for game sleeves, you know
where to look. Check it out. I'll put the link in the chat now, so it'll show up in a blinding video.
We gatekeep EX10 to episode 53.
Let's gatekeep EX10.
Let's gatekeep
we have a couple.
We
have a couple things we could still talk about on our backlog, because that would be fun. Let me see what we've got. One of the funny things left, gang, is we didn't talk about. We briefly mentioned the ban list, but we haven't got our usual Misplay thing is to do a little bit of actual discussion and then to just propose inflammatory hot takes. If you guys don't mind, shall we go ahead and let me find the tier list for it so we can do that. We can do a tier of Andrew's picks, Tom's picks, and Marcio's picks. Let's go ahead and find, hold on a second, our picks for the biggest winners and losers of the ban list.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe just our like top 2 up and comers, the things that stand to be in a good position that I think a lot of people aren't expecting. Give me 1 sec to pull that puppy up.
Okay, I think I know my team.
I think there's a bunch of actually like worthwhile discussions for these, which is cool. There's like a bunch of like interesting variations for like a lot of different decks and things that have showed up. So I'm gonna try and find. The category is not showing up now. Super cool, guys.
Biggest winners and biggest losers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I have. You'd have thought I'd have saved it. I'm so smart, guys. Yeah, we'll just do big. You know what? Forget the tier list. Let's just go on like card dev like we used to, gang. Card app, card dev, Digimon Card IO for the old heads. Yeah, and let's pick some bangers.
Card app is exclusively reserved for the bonus content. You know, we got to put the best Digimon viewer behind a paywall.
Yeah, we're gatekeepers. Alrighty. Hey, I have a couple. I think we'll do like 2 or 3 each. Does that sound good? We'll do it in like a little triangle.
Sure.
Cool. If fans of the channel, listen, if you guys only watch the regular KnTElixar like locals and commentary videos, you might have noticed a pattern this month, which is that there's 3 dudes that keep showing up on Andrew's channel. As shy as he like, you can't shake them off of top tables. They might be playing the same decks. And so for the love of the game and for my good buddy Derek Lamb, I'm going to shout out Dorbeckmon as a deck that was a huge winner of the ban. A tremendous increased level of proficiency from Dorbeck. This deck is basically about as dishonest as there is left in Digimon at this stage. It's every blind card draw advantage tool that we know Bandai don't like because they keep hitting them on the ban list, as well as a belligerent out of nowhere OTK now that OmniX exists.
Yep.
I truly think one day this card and OmniX will probably get choice restricted, and that will be the solution to that particular problem. But for the meantime, if you haven't done it yet, you could now probably, from the amount of videos, recreate Derek's list just from watching the channel. So if you haven't had a chance, maybe give it a look. Try and dig up a Dorbeck list yourself and give it a go.
Yeah,
it's shockingly effective.
If you need to, there's 2 great ones from the horse's mouth himself, and you can just figure out what cards they've cut for Graph Crush and put in new ones. The Kaus Gamamon was a card I'd never read for the first time, but when I did see it draw a card, I just nodded. That's all I needed to know.
Yep. So that's my first pick. You want to go next, Marcio? You want to go next, Andrew? Who wants to go?
Biggest winner?
Yeah, this is a deck we think is like a huge lottery winner post ban list. It could just be Galacticmon, to be honest.
You've got the freebie.
Are we meta manipulating?
It's Shakamon, guys.
Oh, don't even. I have my alts.
They've gone up recently. My actual pick is Eaters. I think Eaters won out pretty hard from the ban list. You no longer have to commit 3 slots to emergency program shutdown to kill Tsukuyamon.
I'll be honest with you. I have gone on record and said that this deck is slop that does nothing. And then post ban list, I started testing it and realized that it's like one of those decks that just can't lose to a lot of purple decks.
Yeah.
So I have come around on it as a legitimate meta threat. I don't think it's like X tier amazing,
if the
but like it now
forms couldn't attack players, I feel like this deck, yeah, like you said, it kind of just matchup checks a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It does have some very hard matchups, but I think the deck's really good, and it does have some very obvious weaknesses, so it kind of gets collateraled by the same things that, you know, whenever Royal Knights is good, this deck will have some problems. But
yeah.
I mean, it did well even in this pre-ban list. It has an invite. Shout out to Yoko, the French Eaters player. Yeah, they're just not having to commit 3 slots to EPS helped a lot. It's a really big winner of the ban list. Your Sakuya matchup was miserable, and you had to tech to beat it, and now you don't. So you can put in more hate pile cards like Kokuamon to murder Omnimon. So,
yeah, that one's pretty good.
I think it's a really big winner of the ban list. Personally, it's kind of one of the decks that is in contention for me to show up with to an event. Not the front runner, but it's definitely one of the decks that may get flipped.
I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I think like Eaters. I love.
Yeah, we love doing that on Misplay. What are you talking about?
That. Your deck sucks.
I called the loyal audience sickos 5 minutes ago.
I think like Eaters is like, you know, it's like, you know, it's you know, it's fine. I think it's okay. There's a lot of decks that, like, in my opinion, gatekeep it. From
it's
like,
such a binary matchup spread.
Yeah.
It's like good or unplayable.
Yep. Yeah, and as the other issue is in terms of like, let's say that you're like, oh man, a white deck, and I love white decks in Digimon because that's the fake extra color. And so you love, you know, your Eosmons and your D-Reapers and your whatevers, right? And you're like, oh man, let's play some Eaters. And then like half of the card, like not half, but like the deck plays any amount of Death X's and any amounts of Medievals, and anybody that wants like a deck that doesn't like break the bank, this deck is garbage without those cards.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not Eaters.
This deck can only really win if you play the, not even like Silver Bull, it's just the good like Mega Zoo Jason cards.
Yeah, do you remember when do you remember when Infinity topped on Metal Etamon, and it was just like hey, if you thought this was gonna be the budget control deck, I'm sorry to tell you that this deck is just cards surrounded by Death X.
Digimon is the like, until they make, like, you know, we kind of had our hopium for the Olympus 12 deck as like a way to make a not Omega expensive control deck. Like maybe if they make it green based, there's no medieval. Please. Medieval. I just remembered medieval.
No, green. That's fine. Just give me a new green deck. Just please.
My point being, like, they can't really. They've made enough like splashable, overpowered secrets that even Demon Lords gets away with ruin modes. So like, you know, there is no way to make something like a deck about value and control. Probably will just use the best individual cards.
Yeah.
So if you like control, get ready to spend. That's Digimon, baby.
I think my pick for one of the bigger winners for sure is Machine Dramon. I think as much as like, yeah, I could say Galacti. Like, yes, I could say Galacti. Galacti is unbelievable. It might be propaganda from the Misplay for Game conglomerate, but trust me when I say this. If I show up to Bristol on Galacti, it's with the intent of winning that regional. Because unless they release something in BT23, or if the EX10 matchups are that bad, Galacti is like so well positioned.
Machine is legit though. Machine like not
even
just
both versions.
Machine was
that's the thing that's the most impressive, is that both versions of Machine are viable.
Yeah, Machine was
all versions. Well, nearly all versions of Machine are viable.
Machine was 4 of top 16 in NA. Like, it's currently the best or second best represented deck post ban list in the West. Purple Hybrid is solidly the best represented best deck in the East. But in the West, Machine is king right now. Machine
has the ability to, because a lot of it's like more polarizing matchups than was good, it also just benefits from some of the newer tools that I got are good enough to justify including them in your toolbox, between like some of the new level 5s that you got, as well as ones from like EX9, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it just benefits from this environment of there's no new sets that the deck doesn't have to tech against, and all of the previous top contenders are much weaker. So the deck, as of right now, really gets the benefit from the current environment. And you also get obviously both versions of the deck, whether that's DM or that is the traditional like analog man, more like slam / make big machine stack type deck. I think it's pretty good, and the secret rare machine that card's really good. I don't know, man. Copy
that's
the effect.
insane. You guys have any fringe interest in this? You should be buying them before they get really expensive. That's my 2 cents.
But
great pick.
I can give you my second pick that this is my little cope pick. I like this deck. I think it's neat. I think Adventure's pretty good, guys.
He did it again, Andrew. I was gonna say Adventure.
Damn, it's almost like,
yeah.
I think Adventures, it kind of cooks a little bit. It has a lot of potential. It's pretty good.
Interesting that we've of the deck that
gets to play medieval, which is very important. That deck, like medieval adventures, like really good. And if it already had a good matchup into the Growl piles before, it's like a Growl anti-meta pile, it's even better now. And you actually get to go back to playing like the Garurus as well, because you don't have to tech for as much stuff.
I love of the 4 decks that have been said so far. All of them are on play. What the fuck?
Sometimes the podcast gets kidnapped by cats.
Yeah, they are all on play decks that love mostly love.
I think it's a good time to play a non-linear Digimon deck.
Yeah, the format has simplified to a degree post-ban list, pre-release of new sets. But like decks that have multiple axes to play from let you like kind of position around matchups in an interesting way. Like sometimes like just on-play Bozo is good, and that's why Dorbeck is legit. But like Machine, like Marcia said, has a great toolbox to pull from. Adventure, you have no idea what top end they're playing. We are weeks away from somebody calling it the Adventure Engine, the way we do with Galaxy, and just letting that be a deck. But it is what it is, chat room.
The only issue with Adventure is in EX10, there's going to be a little bit of tamer hate.
Touch of disturbed balance.
A little bit of tamer hate from a couple chunguses, a couple villains that hate kids, so
Dude, they're even printing Digimon Emperor. It's so funny.
And that might be a little bit sus, so hopefully everything stays chill. We go back to, I don't know, man. I like resolving Togemon and Bergermon and Togemon and Bergermon and Togemon and Bergermon. Not paying for my 5s is really cool. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I have unbelievable follow-up, and I just scale and it's just it's cool.
It's a good pick. It was going to be one of mine. Should we do a back to front? Andrew, do you want to pick your next one?
I mean, that's already.
Yeah, Galactic Free Space.
I think my pick for biggest winners on the ban list are the fucking once again they've got the greatest lawyer in the world. I think Imperial, either version, you can be colorblind, but it's accurate for both. Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode and Dragon Mode continue to be Bandai's darling deck, and it's held back by the players. So if they stop accepting, if they stop making that pact with the Blood God that makes them brick every second or third game, they'll keep winning regionals. Deck is stupid and was not hit again, and has good matchups into probably most of the things that are either cope trying to make it work post ban list, or will prop up as a result of the ban list. So Imperial remains the arbiter that just watches everything else kind of take fold and decides to step in every so often like an Olympian.
It's a great call. I mean, Imperial's nuts. If you guys haven't begun testing it yet, you need to. It's fantastic again. Hoping Tamer Hate does something this time. We'll see. I was torn about my next pick. I was originally thinking maybe we could just all 3 pick decks that I'll lose to Tamer Hate. But I think it's maybe more complicated than that. I think the decks that are going to come out in EX10 do a couple of really good things that are like notably like, oh, just exceptional disruption or like ignorant, no, you don't get to play decks. But there's an exception to that. There's one deck that is like weirdly retro Digimon-esque, and it comes from, sincerely, a deck I never hoped to give a shout out to on this show, but I think Appmon Good Stuff might finally be good. I think even the Gaiamon engine that I was so unhappy to play might have it. Deusmon doesn't need an introduction. Everyone on the internet's been telling you guys that it's good. I can't believe how good half those cards are. They fixed basically all of my issues with it. I think it's like legit. We have to give Appmon its flowers time. I would not be surprised to see non-hero Appmon versions, like a real Appmon deck, see a top before the end of 2025. Whether it's Deusmon, Gaiamon, or I'm less confident in Aranos.
No,
I'm not necessarily. Aranos has individually good cards that I like do actually like, but not as a package.
Aranos is very fun to play. That deck is not competitive.
Aranos is the third goofy ass dragon head on the 3-headed dragon.
yeah. Gaia is also like obviously Deusmon's great. I'll give Gaia its specific shout out. Gaiamon as a deck and all of its tools are better supported than the other two versions so far. And get away with a different thing, which is that like individually, it's the most like it's the initial wave, right? So a lot of the freaky parts of that archetype are things built off of the idea from the Gaiamon stuff. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about like, oh well, the new egg is like, what is it? When you trash a source, you get to draw.
Yeah.
Like there's a new one being printed for the it's like when you're an Appmon attack, that will also be good for Gaiamon. You don't just have to stick to the Link stuff now.
The Black Tamer,
dude, Charismon letting you draw, amazing. So there's a lot of stuff to risk. Like I know I was Appmon's biggest hater, but I think it's time to give them, like, I have a deck for purchased and ready to play because I kind of think the deck is legit again. So that's my, but again, also like lol tamer hate.
There's someone praying like on your downfall that your like Nat invite top comes off the back of an Appmon. They're hoping that you find your Wolf Glick Incineroar and you're just fucking tethered to Appmon.
I think Globemon's really cool. I have said that on the show, but like, yeah, we'll see.
I like
if I start hot streaking on this archetype at some point, I'll practice seriously.
I like Entmon. Entmon is a very funny nuke, Turn up the music, turn up the bass, turn up the music, turn up the bass. Whoa! Is that a that's basically like, I can't take Aranos seriously because for some reason that deck to me is like attached to NPC Miles Morales.
That was a good bit. I like that.
But even Deusmon is like kind of funny as a app control deck. And the fact that you get to the deck is like really sticky. Even if people, don't perceive it like at first, the deck is like very, very sturdy. I will say, as sort of like a general rule of thumb for the upcoming Digimon formats, I will give you guys a little nugget of information for the remainder of 2025 for Digimon. I think that if your deck has Digivolve, your deck is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, there's a lot of these assholes running around, and Digivolve's really good, guys.
Really
if your deck has Digivolve, your deck is probably like a tier better than something else you could be playing.
You can do Digivolve where you make Globemon. It's so broken.
So I don't know. Maybe black players rejoice. Maybe the year of black. We'll have Pyramidi, Galacti, Appmon, even D-Brigade, Tom. Even D-Brigade.
D-Brigade's so fun right now, dude. I'm not putting it on here because people don't want to hear it from me, but D-Brigade's lit.
Even D-Brigade works, man. Yeah.
Machine.
Oh wait, no, D-Brigade's sick now because you got a Quartz Ace.
Yeah, seriously, D-Brigade has been a lot of fun to test. I think D-Brigade is like, this is not actually going to impact Mars here in any way by saying this, but D-Brigade is one of my favorite anti-galactic mon decks I've ever played. It basically, like, we were talking about Eaters having like an all or nothing matchup spread. D-Brigade does not work 90% of the time. And then you hit that guy at your locals, and he's never been angrier because you have Commandramon.
Jambo.
Yeah.
It's beauty.
Oh yeah, the purple
he's gonna be trying
hybrid
to-
griefer deck.
Yep.
He's gonna
Yep,
look
yep,
left
yep,
and
yep,
right,
yep.
and he's gonna see birds place. He's like, oh, and then his opponent's gonna flip the Missimon, and you're gonna hear him from the other side of the country.
Yeah. D Brigade D Brigade and Angels are like the two sides of the coin. They do very similar things in like they hurt you in different ways.
Oh, somebody mentioned Dorogora. Okay.
No.
I'm I
He's
might be playing
leaking something.
Dorogora. I might be playing Dorogora locals next week because I think that deck is kind of good. But I think none of us mentioned puppets.
It's not my pick right now. That's not the single
I don't
winner.
think
I
it's
have
a winner.
like at least 3 things I think are better than.
I think that deck like
Not that it. Sorry,
actually
not better.
that deck is actually a big loser. That deck is actually a big loser because if Imperial is good,
Puppets
suck.
hates that. Yeah.
So actually, puppets big loser.
Puppets liked Gilbirds too. It's a funny one. I think there's a lot to experiment with, but like in terms of like individual winners. Okay, that was my first of the Junkers, right? We're doing the last ones.
Oh.
I'll give you the last one for free. I already said it, but it's Purple Hybrid. Purple Hybrid basically has won the last 4 or 5 large scale events in China, and I'll give it this as well. It's the Sound Birdmon version of Purple Hybrid, where you play 4 copies of Pummel Whack and 4 copies of Underworld's Calling.
Underworld's,
yeah, and you just play,
on.
and then you play Violet, and you do everything that discards options to just gain cycle and fill the trash as fast as possible. It's outrageous how fast that deck goes. It feels faster than Louis at 4 Numemon. It's so dumb. But it has the worst bricks I've ever seen. So in best of 1, it carries. We'll see how it does in best of 3.
The only issue with that deck is like any ace deck that gets to evolve by passing color struggles a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
But otherwise, it's pretty good.
You got a third one, Andrew?
Winner.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's right.
He said it, man. Can we just like start hiding information just because we're doing a
Who are we
podcast?
hiding Omnimon
Brother,
from?
we had tricks
Yeah,
on.
I know.
We had tricks on for episode 51. That shit was not hidden.
The bro's crashing out. He hates that
The
deck.
number 1 DNA Digimon hater of all time.
I don't know, man. It's not my fault that my favorite Digimon is cooler than your favorite Digimon. I deserve to win.
I let Omnimon do tax fraud if he wants, man. He's actually so cool.
I deserve to win because I chose Mr. Digimon. What part do you not understand?
Omnimon is in real life what the Beelzemon stands think Beelzemon is in their head.
Yeah. My guys are cooler. Like, come on now. I deserve to win because my guy is really cool.
I don't see a lot of people wearing Gora t-shirts, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I know a lot of dudes with an Omnimon t-shirt.
Omnimon, Agumon, Gabumon, those are the goats.
Yeah, those are the kids. Sorry
Your
about your
Scrimble Bimbo
shit,
Shitmon gets to exist because of my go, okay?
Yeah.
Put some respect on the goat.
Marcia, what would you have picked if he hadn't yanked Omnimon from you, or that you were hiding Omnimon?
This is where I'm going to be like really sad and depressing. Do you know the Bart meme where like he's like writing on the whiteboard?
Yeah,
man.
It's me writing. Yeah, it's me writing Leviamon.
Yeah.
It's like the saddest. Like, this deck is so good, but nobody wants to play it.
Yeah, I gave up. I finally bought mine.
This deck is so like there's like a couple, you know, like, oh, you know, Imperial is like so. Levia eats Imperial alive.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. You actually tell them to go kick rocks, and they just, you know what? Something that's like really funny. If you're ever worried about Galacti, just play Levia. It's so entertaining to just like take down the spaceship and bite it like 3 times. They can protect themselves for 2 chomps. They're not protecting themselves from the 3rd chomp. It's so free how that matchup is, because you also have Psychmon, so you just grief them with the Snatchmon Digicross. Any like tamer, any deck that plays like a small amount of tamers, Levi is good against. Adventure, you played by effect, that's really cool. Play around this Biting Crush. Even Royals, even people still trying to like Royals is obviously still very good, but if you're you already had a good Royals matchup. Your matchup is better now because there's less things to account for. Like the purge is going to happen a lot less, and if it happens, you could realistically pass them. You could realistically pass them whatever amount of memory with Biting Crush, and if they ever have the audacity to do an Omni turn, you just take their turn because there will be a bunch of aces in there.
Yep.
So Leviamon, you know, I have a special relationship with this stupid crocodile. This deck, I will always say this deck is really broken, and I'm just really bored of playing it with me and everyone except for Moment, aka Donkey Dog. He's the one guy who can't get enough of this deck.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Levi is really good. Just play that deck.
So there's our 10 guys, 10 decks you probably already knew were okay that we think got better after the ban list. That's a Misplay classic, guys. Top 10 best
No green decks
Misplay
inside.
content.
Green sucks.
Mojo.com.
Literally Imperial is half green.
Half green does not mean green.
Adventure is a green deck.
It has green cards.
It's a green deck.
Just because it suspends doesn't
Andrew,
mean that.
start how we wrap up the
Yeah,
episode.
Marcino's denying people entry to the cookout. Just like that, you know, I did your 23andMe, and, you know, we saw some stuff in there that I don't think that counts.
Your pork chops don't have enough seasoning. Go back home and do that shit again.
All right.
Unless you're evolving for 3, suspending and piercing, I don't want to hear it.
It does that.
Who does that?
Gang, it's been 2 years, 52 weeks, and a whole lot of these. I don't even know when this trend started in our podcast, but it won't be going anywhere as we finish out the season. Bonus content will be recorded potentially tomorrow. So it will come out for champions 1 month early. So support the channel as a champion because it helps us do a bunch of cool stuff, and you get content when it's made as opposed to 1 month after it's relevant. But
come to the case tournament. October 11th, Manchester Fanboy 3. You've seen it 1,000 times. Please come to the case tournament. Tickets are limited. We have done better than I think some people expected. Please come to our case tournament. There will be unique prizing and you will have a great time. And if you show up, I will personally give you a high five.
Yeah.
See you there. Baba Booey, baby.
Baba
Happy
Booey.
birthday, Misplay.